know Cleopatra, her birth and death is closer, her life, I guess, rather. Cleopatra's life span is closer to the invention of the iPhone than it is the pyramid creation, the pyramids.
Huh.
Isn't that mind-boggling?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I like doing that with my own age. Like Dave Matthews Band's first album came out 30 years ago.
Couldn't name you a song.
On Dave what? You couldn't even name a song?
No.
That's lame. You should be able to name a song.
Why?
I can name Nickelback songs. I hate the shit out of them.
Well, if you can name a song from the greatest band of all time, that's not that impressive.
Photograph. Best song ever made.
Yeah.
For the photography. That should be our theme song. We should
Look at this. We should blow all our money on licensing it for one episode.
Yeah. I think we should.
Sure.
I think it's a good move, actually.
That's business savvy.
Yeah. Or do we just recreate the song with the word digital photograph? We just fit it in.
It's a derivative. I think we'd get sued by Chad Kroger, but then maybe we get to meet him in court and it'd be wicked. And we can bomb rush him and give him hugs.
Maybe he'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, guys. Enjoy the
best concert I've ever seen. Nickelback, $29.99, Bud Stage in Toronto.
$29.99, like in the future?
No, it's probably. I'd write a blank check. I'd give a blank check now to see them, but.
Wow, that's what it costs, $29.99.
It did when I saw them.
Oh, I thought that was the year you saw them in the future.
No, $29, man. It was awesome.
Like the Terminator.
No.
I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah, maybe Chad Kroger's immortal, but maybe he listens to the show.
You know what? I heard actually he does. He does.
Good.
He's trying to hone his skills in photography and golf and running, and he happened to find our show, and it was the perfect match.
It's not the perfect timing, though, because last week I let everyone know why you weren't around.
Yeah, which is right. This is a Matrix moment. Right now, you're listening about why I wasn't around last week, but it's today because that's when the episode dropped. But right now, we're recording for next Monday.
Yeah, weird. So last week you weren't around because you had back issues. But today, when people are listening, you're in their ears, but you're actually on the mend because you will have just undergone back surgery. So yes, it is a bit of a matrix. Tell people what's going on. I let people know you had sciatica. But it's
that's true. Thanks for sharing my HIPAA information.
Yes, I did. I broke. I'm a felony.
Good Lord.
A felon, rather.
Well, I didn't want to share any of that.
I shared your address. I shared
what's
your
wrong?
Social security number. I shared your MRI on screen.
It would be interesting. I'll share that shit.
Yeah, let's put your MRI on screen right now, Daniel. Please do that.
Do it. And everyone, let's see if you could pass medical school. Let me know what looks wrong.
It's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious. And that's my opener when I share it. I'm like, you don't have to be a doctor to see which one of these things is not like the other. Yeah, everyone. Hey.
Is there a song like that? Which of these is not like the other?
I will be on the mend. I will be under the knife when you're listening to this. Believe it or not. The timing of that. So this is pre-recording this for that moment. But hopefully everything goes well. I'm sure.
Well, what's going on with you? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I'll bring it way back. 12 years ago, 32, I want to say, give or take. I don't remember exactly, but I had an injury playing golf on the course, not swinging, but just actually stepping onto a side hill. My back felt something I've never felt before. And like a dumb 32-year-old weekend warrior, finished the round gingerly, but like did the best I could to finish the round. There wasn't too many holes left. But when I got home, I was completely locked up after getting out of the car. And I knew something was really off. It was like a 2 or 3 day thing where I could not really engage any sort of core or movement. And if anyone's ever hurt their back or pulled a stomach muscle or back muscle, it's really involved in almost everything that you do. sitting up, rolling over, turning to a side, reaching for something. Those little muscles contract and it can be excruciating. So that was my first sign. From that, I don't remember the exact footprint, but I did have an MRI and had a bulging disc, which wasn't affecting any nerve stuff. So it just was centralized to back discomfort and potentially muscles spasming up to protect the area every once in a while. And I worked really hard from, I would say, 32, 33 to present day, really, being very aware of the delicacy of my back, uh, trying everything from yoga, Pilates, chiropractic, core stuff, having a back routine that I go through pretty religiously, taking it easy on not lifting super heavy, not trying to push myself too hard at this point and stage in the game. So that's where we are. It's always been a thing that's in the back of my mind. Seth knows we've traveled together after being in a new van for a week at a time and 7-hour flights or what have you. I can get a little bit like, oh, it's iffy. It's a 6 out of 10 right now. It's not crushing me, but I know it's there. And it's always felt like there was like a fuse there, like something there that was just on the brink of this could go really bad or kind of disappear for a while. And that's the way I played the last decade of my life, is like, how are things feeling back there? I got to protect it a little bit more. I got to work on a little bit more core. Oh, it's feeling pretty good. I can push myself a little bit. That kind of back and forth. This summer, I started to notice some things and maybe didn't recognize things or take the precautions needed when noticing probably some worrisome stuff, like going to a concert and standing for about 20 minutes or so would start to get very uncomfortable. And part of me thought, like, I saw memes about 40-year-olds at concerts and the shoes they have to wear and how uncomfortable it is, and like heading out before encore to beat traffic. And I was like, maybe it's just like I'm older and whatever. But I think things were getting exacerbated. I was running this summer. I think that's a lot of good motion, but I think it's also a new sort of motion that I'd done for now an extended period of time, starting last spring through the summer, pretty religiously, week after week after week, and registering some high mileage for me, not for the average runner, but for me, some high mileage, and that's just some pounding that I wasn't used to. Um, Long story short, I think I had a few millimeters of spare space before a herniated disc was running into the sciatic nerve, which goes all the way down your leg. And for whatever reason, the added pressure, the pounding, I even lost 20 pounds since the spring. So I thought that would help alleviate some stuff, but maybe it's a net gain, net loss sort of thing. I was carrying stuff in for a gig on Saturday. I didn't feel anything happen in terms of like, oh, I hurt my back, or oh, this popped out, or whatever you would think. It just all of a sudden, feeling good, feeling strong. My leg went completely numb as I'm setting up for a 3-hour gig. Sometimes I would have some tinglings of numbness that would go down my leg, but it'd be a flash and it would come away. And I would think like, oh, I don't really know what that was. I have a fear what that was, but it wasn't staying with me long enough to be like, I need to do something about it. I always had the mind of like, surgery is a last resort for back stuff. My dad has this saying, there's no injury surgery can make worse or can't make worse. It's kind of a pessimistic look, but it is sort of a cautious tale in terms of like, do surgery and it's amazing stuff, but be careful and like don't try to do everything else first, I think is his approach as a doctor, and it has always been my approach. So during the summer, feeling those things, I incorporated back like my whole PT back routine, core stuff, all that stuff to try to get better. And I'm back to that gig night, and I'm just feeling this numbness while I'm playing. It was a great gig, by the way. Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Packing up, getting home, and I'm like, damn it, like my foot is pins and needles. Like it is gone. So I'm like, all
Wow.
right, I'm gonna take some Advil, which I rarely do, but I'm like, maybe I'm just swollen like around my nerve or whatever. Like, let's see if I wake up and I'm miraculously better. And I wasn't, and I'm almost glad I wasn't because I know me, and I just would have kept on going and kept on going. So I wake up and my leg and my pretty much all the way up to my knee and all the way down to my foot is the sensation of if you slept on your arm wrong or you slept on your foot
Oh,
wrong, and it's completely numb and it feels like 4 times the size, and then it's starting to come back to life, and you can like bear you don't have the strength or the range or the connection, the nerve connection to move stuff. And it's like I can like wiggle my toes, but it feels like that pins and needles sort of coming back to life feeling, which at this point, that was last Saturday. We're close to a week from that happening. I'm almost used to it, but
is it going on right now as we're talking?
as we're talking right now, I have no feeling in my foot.
How is that not completely distracting?
It is maddening. I've gotten used to it and I can function now without it. But when this happened Saturday, we recorded Sunday. I was like, Seth, I can't do this. I can't.
We did. I recorded with Bram, and you texted me the day of. You're like, I can't make it, and I was like, shit.
Yeah, I was like,
Because you're not the kind of guy to bail unless it's a big deal.
no, I couldn't sit, and that was in the prime time of probably like nerves, like nervousness, nerves, pun intended,
Anxious
I guess.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like something is wrong mechanically here. Something's really off, and also sitting's not the most comfortable. We're going to do a shorter episode here today, but I'm in a better spot than I was last week. But yeah, the first couple of days, like having a numb foot is like imagine a limb being asleep for days at a time.
Yeah, I know the sensation when you wake up in the night and your arm is a
Yeah,
piece of giallo.
it's like it's maddening. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like mindfulness I had to do to
Ooh,
like
what? Share.
just a lot of like deep breathing and understanding that uh, this hopefully, but having the mindset of this will get better. Like at least it's not pain. Like trying to do a lot of rationalization. Like it's not pain right now; it's numbness. And it switched. Like I had to go to my doctor's appointment on. So this is Saturday. Sunday, I just was kind of seeing what was going on. Monday, I went to urgent care to try to get on a regimen. A lot of the times they'll say like, let's get you on steroids. That'll really reduce the inflammation. If that's the problem, you might have some relief. That didn't touch it. I'm on a steroid routine. I have my last dose today. Did not even touch it. So Tuesday, I love this doctor. He was able to rush me in at a 6:30 in the morning appointment he made for me. So I got there, but the drive there, because when you're sitting,
How are you driving? Is it your right leg?
No, it's my left leg.
So you obviously you're doing gas with your right.
Yeah, gas and right. I do 1 foot for each thing.
So you're good.
Yeah, so I'm good to go. But sitting is one of the like after the surgery, I can't sit, like specifically. Do not sit at all for like a week or two.
What is
stand
that?
up.
That's just not good in general, even for a healthy spine.
Right. And it puts a lot of pressure on it. So me as a 6'5" guy in a car that has to kind of fit in there, there's no like good posture for me in a car because my head's like through the roof.
Yeah, you see, I make the joke that you open the sunroof and see up the top.
Yeah, I probably should. It'd be better for me. But that started to turn into like fire down my leg versus numbness. And like those drives back and forth were excruciating. I made it. But we opened up he got me into an emergency MRI, which usually can take weeks, got me into a fast MRI. We saw it the next day. I had to drive back. We went over it, and I mean, it's pretty gross. Like there's a disc that exploded out backwards into the spinal column.
It's at like a 90 bend. I saw it.
Yeah, there's no room. It's like going down the column.
The disc bends on a 90, and it's one that makes you go, oh.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there.
That's not right.
That's not right.
It's digging so far into that nerve that it's making the nerve protrude out the sides of the disc. It's weird.
Yeah. So he was like...
It's on screen on YouTube again.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm pretty conservative in my surgery recommendations, but I hate that you have weakness in your left leg. So he's doing tests like pushing. I would
yeah.
lift my foot up, and he with the right foot I could hold his push. With the left foot, it just goes.
Yeah,
So I have
Dorsey.
no strength. I can't heel walk. I can
Right,
barely
right.
balance. He said it's amazing. It's amazing you're walking, and I was like, because I'm an incredible athlete,
Yeah.
and
Maybe you've heard
I'm
of the photographer mindset. I actually,
yeah. I don't know if you've seen my gait, but
actually a mind guru.
I've just memorized body mechanics, and I'm putting it together. But
Yes.
no, he was like, "I'm really surprised you're able to balance and not fall over. It's that bad." And so he's again, it's like, I really think we should not have your leg be numb for much longer.
Yeah.
And let's get this done as fast as possible so we can regain muscle strength and not lose anything. Because if it's like this for too long, it kind of, not to scare anyone, but like dies off, and muscle's hard to bring back when that happens. So Monday, while you're listening to this, or no?
Are you going in on
No.
the 8th?
Yeah. So no.
That's last week's episode. You will have been going in for your
Okay.
surgery.
All
And
right. So
when this comes out, it'll be a week after that, and you'll probably be feeling not so hot.
yeah, maybe a little bit better, maybe
Maybe
much
better.
better.
Yeah.
So
You know,
it is outpatient. It's a 40-minute surgery. It's a micro incision. It's amazing technology, and they just kind of get a tube down in there, open it up a little bit, take a look inside, and scoop out the jelly. Not
nice.
to gross anyone out, but that's what's happening. Get it off the nerve gently, move the nerve out of the way, get all that stuff out of there, and give that space back, which also gives the disc the opportunity to heal and close.
Can the
So
disc
that's
regenerate?
the jelly, they say, doesn't typically regenerate, like give you more cushion between. However, I have some space, and you'll see there. But what it does do is it allows the hard outer shell to close back up. So right
Okay.
now there's jelly sticking out of it, and it can't heal around it. So once they get rid of that, it can then heal. And
Right.
then from that point, that's why people feel great typically after the surgery, as long as everything goes well. They feel like, wow, like my pain's relieved. It wasn't a muscular tear. They don't have to tear any muscle or ligaments to go through there. It's basically a 1-inch incision that heals relatively quickly, and people feel great. The key is mentally to be like, I know I'm on a timeline. Like I can't lift anything heavy for a while. I got to just really take it easy to not squeeze more stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. So you've described what's happened. You've described your state of being. This is the photographer mindset. You've described an event that is particularly not favorable. You'd probably rather not have, but you have it. And I kind of want to go through, dive deep into. We'll tie it to some mindset principles. And you said some really interesting things in our private texts back and forth that I want to highlight. So I asked you after you explained all this via text. I said, "What's your mental state?" You said the mental state wavers. However, I have accepted what it is, and I want to get moving towards recovery. It was so succinct, and I was like, good for you. And I said, what else is there other than that, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it happened very fast and very suddenly. And I remember being on the phone with the doctor Thursday. He gave me like the afternoon to think about the options. The other options are kind of chasing the dragon. He's like, we could do cortisol shots in there, which is like steroids direct, and see if that helps. But we see the problem. It might help with the numbness or give you a little space, but it's not fixing the problem. And we're just going to keep on doing that. And eventually we're going to have to do this. So he gave me the options to think about. And when he called on Thursday and was like, hey, like, what do we want to do? And I was like, I think we got to do it. And he was like, all right, well, I talk to people, and I'm willing to move things around and get this done. I'm completely full tomorrow, but I can do this on Monday. And I was like, whew, that's fast. But at the same time, I was like, that's not even fast enough. Like, I want to do this tomorrow if you could. But like the acceptance of it, of like, okay, oh, Monday, man, I'm going to miss a lot of things. Like it's just like normal stuff that you would typically push through and like go do. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have to cancel a lot of stuff. But just like thinking on the fly and being like, okay, like, yeah, this is scary. Like, I'm getting surgery in a few days
With
versus,
so many responsibilities, 2 dogs, a son, full-time job, the podcasts.
yeah.
So let me ask you this: how do you? That's enough. What I just described to send people off the rails. I have this big health issue, and I have so many other responsibilities. However, I know that I can't show up for those things unless I take care of this. At the same time, I'm not thrilled that I'm going to have to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So one step at a time.
Okay.
I took care of work at first. I let them know obviously what's happened. I haven't been able to work this week, and I'm not going to be able to work after, just because I can't be on my feet for very long and I can't be sitting for very long. And my job entails those two things. So I've been out this week and explaining what's going on. I've been very upfront and communicative about, here's my doctor's note, here's what they're saying, this is what's happening. I'm not taking advantage of anything. Like, that's the fear that we have of like, people are gonna think like, oh, he hurt his back. No, yeah, like, I really hurt my back. Like, here's the proof. What do I have to do? FMLA? Like, let's get these things going. I'm contacting all the people, getting my ducks in a row there. My doctor's appointment was near work. Like, I stopped in to just get my computer. I was like, I'm going to catch up on some emails, put my outgoing thing, like, get everything set up. It didn't take very long. It just was
realm of work.
Yeah, in that realm of work.
Before moving on to.
Now, God, I think this is the make or break of almost anyone, is having a support system. And to have a support system, be a support system. Take care of people. Like, it's going to come back at some point where you're going to need it. My mom's great. My brother's great. My best friend's great. Tons of people in my life that are stepping up to be like, how can we help? Hillary in the show was like, let me come walk the dogs and make them exhausted. Yeah, like even gigs that I had to cancel, like guitar gigs. I had a bunch coming up, and it sucks because I was excited for them. But even people I don't know, Don from Hungry Tiger gave me a personal phone call after I let him know that I had to cancel, and said nothing about like, that sucks that we have to cancel, or do you have a fill in, or that's going to put us in a bind. But just like, hey, I can relate. Like, I had this thing when I was 35, and I hope you get well. Like, let me know if there's dates in February you're available. Like, just support.
I like that. I like that. The not buying into. I like the. We label, right? This is a horrible thing, and obviously, there's events like this that don't feel so good. But I do like when someone in that support system isn't adding on to the woe is me, this is bad pity pile. It's more so like, get better.
Yeah.
It's all right. I got you. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And you could easily, like I said, I wavered. I could go from like, oh, this is so scary, I don't want this, to a complete opposite, like psychotic, like, I can't wait for this. In the sense that I've dealt with this thing for 12, 13 years, where my back's been like 50%, where I felt like, oh, something's off, but I'm not sure what. It's not off enough to do something drastic. It's not off. It's not rock bottom
to make about this, like,
to make a big change.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, whatever I was carrying that night that made it go like, all right, now it's a 10, is making me make steps. And I thought on the way to the doctor, or kind of accepting the fact that I'm having surgery, I said, this is interesting. I could feel 100% or even 90%, let's say, in 6 weeks.
Yeah. And what would that be like?
What would that be like? Versus I could go on for the next 30 years, slowly dwindling from, I feel 60%, I feel 50%, I feel 40%, I feel 30%, until then becomes like, now I need surgery and I'm 70 or whatever it is, or it gets worse. Like, this is manageable. This is annoying as shit not being able to feel my leg, but it's not excruciating pain. I'm not slamming painkillers to just survive right now. I'm doing nothing. Like, I'm just dealing with the annoyance of a numb foot. And it's creating a situation where, hey, dude, like, you have to get fixed. And then on top of that, not only do you have to get fixed, you have to appreciate your body and appreciate your back in a whole new way going forward.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and the rest of your joints. And I think that's the thing that Dave Sanford was on the show, and like, ignoring the signs of a health situation for a long time until it got really bad. And his big message was like, don't ignore this shit.
Yeah.
Like figure it out before it's a happen. And I know that's really hard to do if your back and your core is not bothering you, to be like, I'm going to put in a lot of time to strengthen my core. And strengthen stability and balance, and do some of the boring things until it's a problem. Or I need to really loosen up my hamstrings, or this, because I don't want IT issues, or whatever it may be. Like, preventative work to keep the body going and to kind of test things. There's a lot of things you can test in terms of mobility and what you're able to do. Can you do a flat-footed squat without your hips jamming up and your back jamming up? If not, that might lead to a serious problem in the future, which you could work on now.
Yeah. Can you sit in a squat? Can you stand on your tippy toes in full? This is when you brought up Dave. There's a saying that I love that I remind myself of sometimes, and it's applicable to things beyond physical ailments. And the quote is, "You can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of reality."
Well, yeah.
And that is so applicable in so many different ways. And, it's what you've just described is a skill that I'm trying to get better at. I think we are so good going about our lives and just not paying any attention, walking around completely oblivious to the signals that our body is desperately trying to tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, often, not in your case, but often sometimes, I've remembered that I used to get back soreness, and it was a symptom of other things. For example, just like stress, or not sitting the right way, or just like my mental state. I find I get back pain when my mind is not of complete sound. It's not a complete sound mind. And it's just interesting, the connection between all of that. So I'm trying to personally get better at having a two-way conversation with my body. Like, okay, yes, leg, you hurt. I hear you. What are you trying to tell me? What does this pain mean? I'll work for you. I'll do the things to make you feel better. And you listen to me sometimes when you need to. I was actually listening to an interview with Jeremy Renner. You know who that is?
Yeah, the actor.
The actor. Remember a few years ago, he got ran over by the snowcat.
Yeah.
And almost died. I think in his recollection, he did die waiting for the EMTs. I listened to a podcast with him on Modern Wisdom with Chris Williamson. And I suggest people go listen to it and search it up, because his description of how through this incident he has come to learn to have excellent clairvoyant communication between his mind and the signals of his body, as if they're two different entities working towards the same goal, is brilliant. And I'm trying to instill more of that as a daily practice, just in general. How am I feeling? Is this something to pay attention to? Is this something to push through? Because my MO used to be always just to push through. Like, you're being soft. Like, just push through things. It doesn't matter. I've really stepped back from that, because I think it's very detrimental to health. For athletes, non-athletes, whatever. I think there's times where, for example, physiotherapy that hurts on your knee. Again, I'm going to preface this with, I'm not a physiotherapist. This is not medical advice. But from my own experience with injuries, minor injuries compared to yours, like, physiotherapy hurts. There's pain. Let's label it as pain. But it's good for me. So I have this, I'm starting to talk to my body. Like, hey, I know this hurts, but this is good for us. You listen to me in this instance, and I'll listen to you when you give me other signals. It may sound silly, but just go listen to the episode where he describes literally talking with his sensations. And by the end of the interview, I think he mentions that he is so dialed into what's happening in his body that he just knows every almost down to a molecular level what's going on and what is needed. And I think that's a beautiful place to get to. And perhaps what's going on with you, like you just described, is an opportunity. I love that
Mhm.
you mentioned that. This is an opportunity for me to feel what 90% feels like. I've lived the last decade at 60. I could go down the woe is me category. This sucks. I got to get cut open. I'm, I feel old. I'm not built mechanically. You could really go down a pity party poopy pants. And so I like that. Of course, your level of anxiety is going to waver, but I do like that you've described, hey, this may be really good, almost as a thank you, music equipment for triggering this so that I can get on the road to being better. Thank you for being my rock bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Because you look at all the other paths that it could go, and you go like, oh, well, those ones aren't great either. Like waiting for this time bomb. Like, okay, here it is. It happened. There's nothing I can do right now. I believe if I could, I would do the things that if he said, all right, you're going to have to do tons of PT work and core work 3 hours a day, I'd be like, okay, I'll do it if that's what it takes. But even looking at the MRI myself, my dad, who's a radiologist, who can take a look, any layperson can take a look and be like, "Ooh, this," and the symptoms can be like, "Okay, like this is what has to happen." So okay, here we are. Let's do it the right way. Let's get after it and hope things go well. Of course, there's risk to any surgery, but let's
Yeah, there's
let's
risk to getting in your car too. I remind
yeah,
myself of that.
yep,
There's risk to leaving your house.
yeah. And it's just an outlook on life too. My mom and I had a really interesting talk about. She goes, it's like it's look at bring it back to golf, but look at Tiger Woods. And I looked up how many back surgeries he's had. I think it's 7 or 8 over since 2000 and something up to now. Recently, a complete fusion in 2025, and pushing the American way, the Western way, some cultures of like this production, and maybe it's time to slow down and understand that you don't have to push to the point of pounding your body into the ground, where then it becomes fragile and needing uh, serious interventions. And I'm not talking exercise or being healthy or swimming or running if it's good for you, or rowing, or like whatever you do. You hike 10 miles and you feel okay, great. But like in the Tiger Woods example, he's repeatedly doing the same motion over and over and over and
Mhm.
fighting through, and like, let's put this band-aid on and fight through, and never saying like, okay, this isn't great for my body.
I think
To
he knows that, and I think the trade-off is that he's willing to destroy his body for what he's pursuing, which is fine because
That's fine.
he's on a different path than everybody
Yeah.
else. I think the issue, not even necessarily an issue. I think where the caution is we idolize athletes such as Tiger,
Hmm.
and we forget that we're not them, right?
Yeah.
So even, I mean, looking to my right, like even reading David Goggins' books 4 times, I find myself pushing through injuries just after being immersed in that style of content.
Right. And
And there's caution there. There needs to be caution there.
I think that's to my mom's point of like, well, like even she asked like, why, hey, big guy, why are you running? Why are you running lately?
It's a good question.
Yeah, and it is. And I had like personal things and wanted to try it and wanted to like go through it, but maybe she's right. Maybe like, dude, you're 230 pounds slamming on the concrete with a bad back disc. Maybe that's not the best thing for you right now, and potentially correct. Maybe at some point I can start that up again or do it lightly, or my neighbor says I don't.
Stubbornness to want to be defeated, though, right? It's the
Yeah.
stubbornness to be like, I'm not gonna. I'm because you're of the personality. I'm gonna push through this. I'm somebody who likes to push through barriers, and it's tough to decipher between
Mhm.
whether it's a smart decision to push through the barrier that's currently in front of you. And we advocate for challenging ourselves on this show. I'm speaking from experience. And this is another theme in my life that I'm trying to get better at identifying is is pushing through this barrier productive for me long term, health wise, mental health wise? I don't know. And it's very difficult to decipher between pushing on and pulling back. And
Yeah.
I think the only way you can really find that out, at least from a physical standpoint, is in the fruits of the happening, the results. Oh, my knee is destroyed. My back is banged up. Um, I don't really know how you can I mean, you don't know what you don't know. You have to try things to get feedback.
Right.
It's when you don't listen to the feedback or you think the feedback is irrelevant. I guess that's what I'm getting at. What is signal and what is noise when given feedback?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, life's hard. You get one shot straight through.
Only that you know. You don't know.
Right. In this lifetime, I suppose. It's not like I can revamp and go back to 28 when I started to get obsessed with golf and be like, oh no, what's an important part of golf is back strength and core strength and all this stuff.
Mobility drills. You'd be like, I
feel great.
I feel great. I'm young.
I can show up.
All 300. Get out.
Yeah, I can get out of the car from terrible posture and swing as hard as I can.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you can go back and like make those adjustments, but I guess that's what I'm saying is for all of you younger listeners out there, like don't forget about that stuff. Like do the appropriate things to do the appropriate maintenance, the simple maintenance to keep things going for long term and protect yourself. Especially
and if not even that, though. But if I'll briefly add to you as you continue. Not if not that, the level of clarity, the level of communication between listening to what you need. That is such a hard skill and such an invaluable skill to know what I need in this moment.
Yeah, and it's very easy to, it's our culture, push through. I listen, before this happened on Saturday, the week before, my back has been off. And I have this traditional golf tournament after Thanksgiving on Friday. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And there's a lot of pressure from that in tournament. Like, come on, play. You don't have to swing hard. Just be there, be there, be there, be there. And I did. And I strapped a back brace on, which I haven't done in 10 years, but I was like, something's just off. And I got through that day and it was great. And I had no issues. No, this was, a week ago, right, the Friday before I hurt my back on Saturday.
So you went there against your better judgment.
I did go against my better judgment. I felt great and I played great, by the way. So let's not get that lost in the weeds.
Your scorecard? Can we get a picture of it up on the?
I don't have my scorecard, but it was like a 77, which is pretty good in the freezing cold and wind. No, from the whites. It's a fun tournament, but it was good. Anyways, past better judgment. And even with like this going on, there's like talk of like, I have to cancel a concert that I was going to tomorrow. And it's like, are you sure you can't go? It's like, yeah.
What a wonderful opportunity. You get to practice saying no.
Right. True. But also important again for everyone else is like, people aren't in your body. People aren't in and people deal with pain very differently. People at work were like, why are you here right now? And I'm like, I'm okay. And they're like, your leg is numb. Like, why? I'm like, yeah, but like, and I'm doing this podcast right now with a completely numb leg and my typical affect. So you might look at me and be like, he's fine. And people might not assume or feel what you're feeling and push you to do things or be bummed out if you're not. And if you are susceptible to peer pressure or people pleasing or what have you, you can push ahead.
That's why I said you have another opportunity that's here. As I'll say it again, you're going to get to say no to so many things.
Yeah. One of those photo opportunity was with the first time I met like Nooch and Adam, Danny, and Brett in the Adirondacks. We did a big hike on day one. My knee flared up pretty bad, which I hadn't felt before. The next day we're supposed to do this 10-mile Indian Head hike, and I was like, guys, I'm not doing it. And that was really tough in front of new guys to be like, I'm wimping out. That's what it felt like. But I was like, I'm not getting stuck 10 miles in the woods with a
Sure.
effed up knee. So I just can't do this. Like, I'll drive you guys, I'll pick you up, but I'm going to chill on my own for pretty much the whole day. But to be able to say no to those things and listen to yourself and stay steadfast with like, this is what I need, is very important, and not pushing through for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how many times if you keep a rough tally of like, nope, got to focus on getting better. Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot. And I don't blame my friends for being like, "Hey, on that gig on the 19th, if we set up everything for you, could you like be there and just play?"
What a compliment.
Yeah, thank you. But I was like, "No, like thanks, I appreciate it, but like they're trying, right? They're trying to make it easy and make it happen. But there's gonna be a lot of things where they're like offering the moon, and I'm gonna have to be like, nope, still no, still no.
Yeah.
Uh, even I got into skiing last year. I got skis. My son's really into it. Like that's gone. That sucks. That one
Yeah. Sorry,
hurts because
buddy. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I wanted to do for his birthday present and like my birthday and like go away and have like a nice weekend. And it's like that one's probably not gonna be happening, let alone just my own smartness with golf next year and being like this golf is the injury of this is why that back thing happens and why it's bending and twisting in a forceful motion. That's when discs get herniated. And that is the name of the game. Golf is
Sure.
bending and twisting and putting a ton of force into it. So
So
without a really strong core, a lot of that brunt goes right into your spine. So yeah, there's some big decisions to be had of like, is 10 rounds of golf a year worth every other day of normalcy being like just
sure.
uncomfortable? I don't know. So there's just a lot of thinking and decisions and potential no's and potentials. No, that's not for me. But here we are.
Well, let me ask you this then,
Yeah.
and we'll end because I know that you want to
Mhm.
keep it short today. You've been sitting for a while. What's a year out from now? How would you like to look back on this having played out, mindset wise, physically, etc.? Like, what would have been a successful evolution from essentially a rock bottom injury?
Yeah, I think a beautiful reset, to be honest. When I first hurt myself, I was so diligent and beautifully balanced through yoga and Pilates and core work and doing it myself to make sure that I was as strong as I could be in that section to protect my back that was already injured. As things felt better, as I got to 70%, 80%, could manage. Wow, I have 5 golf seasons under my belt without any injury, knock on wood. I must be getting stronger. The the need to put in that time, that kind of time dwindles. Like, let me fill that time with other things. I'm going to go run, or I'm going to start mountain biking, or I'm going to
Sure.
do the whatever. And that makes sense as humans. Like, we can't do
Is
all
it
the
an
things we're
ignorance?
supposed to
Is it
do.
a slight ignorance? Is there like a slight arrogance?
No, I think it's just listen, if we did all the good things that we could do for ourselves on every single day, it would be beyond a full-time job of sauna, and then let's make this fruit smoothie, and like it let's make sure we have all our supplements completely in a row, and
Yeah.
and
You'd
let
be Brian Johnson.
yeah, we'd be going absolutely bonkers trying to optimize every situation. And let's do red heat therapy and then have a stretch session and then like we'd be doing all the things ever to feel great.
Sure.
So I think it's just human to be like, this doesn't need attention right now. I'm not changing my spark plugs on my car. Maybe I should until there's a spark plug problem, right?
Mm.
And I think that's a little bit of the mentality. I think the mentality should be a balance of like, hey, the spark plugs are getting older. Let me fix them before they break.
Or they
Let
wreck
me,
the rest of the car, or I can't
yeah,
drive the car anywhere.
yeah. So a year from now, I want to say like, wow, this was a beautiful reset of like, you had a very expensive surgery. Like I don't, it's not lost on me that this costs a ton of money for someone and for someone to do. And what a effing miracle that in an outpatient center, they can stick a tube into my back and suck out the problem without cutting me open completely.
Yeah. What a nice moment of gratitude for that.
Yeah. And now I have an opportunity to let that disc heal. Like, for God's sakes, for 12 years, you didn't let it heal. Take the 3 months, 4 months max to do absolutely exactly what you're supposed to do to let that heal. Every bend over, every pickup, every side movement, make sure you're constantly conscious of what's going on. Not overprotective, but constantly conscious of what's going on,
Yep.
so that this has the opportunity to heal. Maybe look at supplements. What's good for you better believe I'm going to be doing research on disc regeneration and disc health. And if there's anything that helps that out, the science is a little wishy-washy on that, but I'll try it even for placebo effect.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it's keeping me doing the right things. And then from a year from now, I'm hoping I'm feeling great and doing those things and concentrating on that back health, my core health, my spinal column. It's pretty important. And I look back and I go like, kind of like a bad relationship that explodes and you're crushed by it. But at the end of the day, you meet this next person, you're like, thank God that didn't work out. Or like, thank God I didn't just drag through it at
And
a 50%.
I'm way better now.
Yeah, now I'm way better now. And I'm able to do things and feel good about it and confident about it and move and go to a concert and stand there and feel like normal aches and pains from being a 45-year-old, but not like, oh, is my foot tingly? Should that be happening?
Yeah,
After
constantly being on sentry duty. I mean, I know we've advocated for that, but I think there's a limit to that. You don't want to be just like neurotic about every sensation all the
Right.
time, because then you can't be in your present moment.
Right. So
maybe we'll play this back in a year and you can shed a tear, because I know that you essentially, what you've just described is treating this as a full-time job to get better, or at least a part-time job, in the sense of it's going to be top of the list, because what else is there really, right? You don't really have a choice, especially if you're going to do this expensive surgery. I know you say, when I buy expensive gear, I'm going to use it and I'm going to learn it. So Here we are.
Yeah, expensive gear. And there's no piece of equipment. This goes true for any hobby, I think, that's more important than your body.
Sure.
Even as photographers, like,
absolutely,
you're lugging gear around, you're hiking, you're moving, you're carrying things, even a camera out in front of you. There's mechanics and there's like strength to be had to protect yourselves.
Absolutely. Maybe in the new year, we'll do all of our podcasts in squat form. We'll just squat the whole 45 minutes on the balls of our feet.
My next few might be laying down. I'm already thinking of how to do it, but
a camera on the ceiling and you can just lay down with a lapel mic.
Yeah, it's gonna be adorable. I'm gonna get so much sympathy and attention. People are gonna be sending.
You can revitalize your social media career if you're seeking that.
Yeah, I remember when we first started, we would sometimes we would crack a beer or have a drink as we had our podcast. When someone caught on to that, and there's one person, man, I'm blanking on the name right now, but sent me this is my favorite beer from Wisconsin, and sent it in the mail. I want to start that, but I want casseroles though this time.
Food,
big ziti.
Make an Amazon wish list for you.
We should. Yeah,
that's funny. So I mean, speaking of all this, I don't really know what to tell listeners to expect. It may be me for a while. It may be Aaron with some more simpler formatted episodes, depending on how he's feeling. I really don't know. Tough to tell, right? So,
I think I would love the opportunity to talk and meet up. I'm not sure about video all the time. We'll just have a goofy photo on our YouTube. It won't affect anyone that's listening on podcasts. But
if someone can rig a system to your ceiling and you can just lay there with a lav, that would be so great.
I could do it. I could set up the tripod. I might show a double chin.
That's what it takes to 20x our plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
It comes out you didn't even hurt your back. It was all a ploy.
Yeah.
It was all marketing.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know that you're going to put in the work. We'll be
Yeah,
thinking
for sure.
about you when you'll be on recovery on the road to it when this comes out. And I will hold the shop down here at the Photographer Mindset.
I
So,
know you will. I know you will.
yeah. So you may be feeling great. You may not be. I don't really know, but you're covered. So I
Yo,
just kind of wanted to let people know. I don't know what to expect, it's going to be. We'll make sure that we keep the streak alive. But it may be me solo. It may be me and guests. It may be me and you and a guest. I really don't know. You don't know. So,
yeah.
all
Well,
right, go get
I'll
better.
be
Okay?
fine.
Go get
Well,
better.
I'm gonna get more than better. I'm gonna get best.
Better than better.
Great.
All right. See you.
See
Man.
ya.